What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your Brewmaster in Chief. And tonight in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with a mono red deck. Believe it or not. And it's to showcase this card over here on the deck box. I'm calling it Volatile Wolves. So let me just do the usual, without further ado. There's not too much introduction that needs to be given here. We are playing a tribal deck. Of course we are. Well, it got to the point where there's enough good wolves on curve that you could make a mono red wolf deck. And ta-da! That's what this is. And oh boy, are there some bombs in here, which we'll get to in a second. So we're starting off with Fearless Pup, which is the only one drop the tribe has. Unfortunately, fortunately, kind of. I mean, if the boast costed 2 instead of 3, like the white one drop, that's a 2-1, whose name is now escaping me, then this would be ridiculously good, I think. Like, as a 1-drop, it might even have been uncommon in that point, because you can get a 3-1 first striker with a boast of 2, but the boast of 3 means you can only do it on turn 3. That's when you want to be doing other stuff, so you're really boasting with it. But it does sometimes give you that little bit of extra reach that an aggro red deck needs. What I mean by reach is that sort of like extra little bit of damage that happens like either during combat or after combat. So that's one way of doing so in this deck, which is not to be underestimated. A little bit of extra damage, like 2 extra damage like that. Well, it would be 1 extra damage. Can be game ending. Next up, it is a snow deck. We're playing the Faceless Haven Snow-Covered Mountain package. That gives us access to Frostbite as our only real other payoff on top of Faceless Haven. And that's not a bad payoff. 3 damage for 1 mana is good. Next up, we got Runebound Wolf. This is one of the new cards from Crimson Vow. It's a 2/2 for 2. But again, talking about that reach, you can pay 4 and tap it and have it deal damage equal to the number of wolves and werewolves you control to target opponent. So if he's stonewalling you by too many creatures for you to attack through, you've run out of removal. It's that point in the game against the control deck where you've gotten them down to like 3-4 life and you just can't get through with your creatures. You can just tap Runebound Wolf, and you could have potentially an ideal scenario: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wolves on the battlefield, and you just go face. And so that's another little bit of reach, as well as being thematically on point. It being a wolf. I wish there was another nice 2-drop for the deck, but there just is not. But this is when we get to the removal. We're running on top of Frostbite, so there's actually quite a bit for a 12 removal spells in total. Demon Bolt is because it hits everything in the format. There's almost nothing that anybody plays that has more than 4 toughness. This takes care of Goldspan Dragon, even the new Ulvenwald Oddity when it hits the battlefield. So many things that this handles. So it's an obvious inclusion, and you always just foretelling it. If you've got nothing better to do on turn 2, like you don't have your Runebound Wolf, foretell your Demon Bolt instead. Keep it there. The ability to do 4 damage for 1 mana at instant speed is very important in this deck. But no additional reach here. But Moonrager Slash can go face. It's 3 damage to any target, and it can also be cast for 1 if it's nighttime. So again, you might not have quite gotten through for that final little bit of damage. You pass the turn, it switches to night, you got 1 mana left open, poof, you go face. A little bit of extra reach with the with your red decks if you can. Next up, obviously, where would we be in a mono red werewolf tribal deck without a full play set of Reckless Stormseeker, giving our creatures haste. You know, there's this guy, which we'll get to in a second, also has haste, but this guy, which we'll also get to in a second, which is the bomb I was referring to, does not have haste. So the ability to give your ill-tempered loner haste when it hits the battlefield on turn 4 is insanely good. Of course, if it's nighttime, they also get +2/+0 and trample instead of +1/+0 and just haste. So that's pretty sweet. And then we come finally to Ill-Tempered Loner. This is my favorite new card, probably. I'm starting to really figure out how it plays, the type of pressure that you can put on the opponent with this card. If it's nighttime, it's game-ending stuff. And there's so many little tricks that you can do, which I hope to cover all of in a second. So on the front side, it's a 4-mana 3/3. It's a little bit understated, but when it's dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target. So you can block a 10/10. So you can just have it be a blocker at first. If in this is one scenario, you need a blocker. You're down very low. Your opponent has big creatures. They keep coming at you. This effectively stops them from doing anything. Because if they attack, you block. However much damage Ill-Tempered Loner takes from the attacking creature, if it's a 10/10 in this example, you can go face with that 10 damage straight away. It kind of reminds me of that 4-mana goblin, the Taunter, Brash Taunter, maybe was the name, where like it had indestructible and it was like a 1/1, and any damage it took, you could send it face. Similar to that, but it gets better. It's got one of those abilities that you like to pump when you want it to flip to night. I talked about this in the green deck, mono green wolf deck from a few days ago, where you want to be proactive and use your mana, but you don't want to cast a spell from your hand, because then that would not flip to night, and you want it to be night. So instead, you start using activated abilities, which doesn't count as casting a spell, to get value out of your mana, and then you just pass the turn and it flips to nighttime. This is one of those where you can pump this however many times you want without so that's one little bit of a win con. If it's nighttime and you've got mana open, you give the trample from the Storm Charge Slasher to the Howl Pack Avenger at that point, and then you dump all your mana into this ability. You can have it go however much you want, and then with trample, that can be game ending. And of course, if they block, it still has the same ability as the front side, but it gives it to all your permanents. So if they block any of your other attackers, it's the combo OTK, you know, 1-turn kill. If you swing in with just 3-4 guys when they're already quite low on health, and you've got the Howl Pack Avenger, it's nighttime, they just can't block. And then you get through for the damage, which is the whole point about that pressure that I was talking about. They want to block because they're going to take 4 damage, but they can't, because if they do, then they're still going to take the damage. And it's just like, of course, we've got some natural enemies, mono black, that kind of stuff. But against the red removal, which is what Izzet runs mostly, of course, the bounce spells are a disaster as well. But like against red removal, this is great, obviously, as well. So yeah, incredible house of a card. Absolutely having so much fun, still learning how to play with it. I hope to showcase it properly during tonight's gameplay footage. Next up, we needed some card draw in the red deck. There is a point at which you run out of steam, and it's usually at this point, at 4 mana on the curve, you know, around turn 4, turn 5. Boom, Unexpected Windfall. You can discard your useless lands that you're top decking, and draw 2 more cards and make a treasure token. And make 2 treasure tokens. So nothing much more needs to be said about this card. It's just a restock. The extra 2 treasure tokens is great. Maybe you're on 4 mana, you're not top decking that 5th. You've got Volatile Arsonist in hand. You really want to cast it. You can also cast it at instant speed during the opponent's turn to not mess up the day-night cycle. So keep that in mind. It's probably the best time to do it if you can. And then you untap with the extra 2 mana from the treasure tokens and the 2 new cards, or 3 new cards plus the one you drew on your draw step. That's always the best time to do an Unexpected Windfall if you can. Then you would have, over the treasures, gained enough mana to cast your Volatile Arsonist the following turn, which is groovy. And finally, we've arrived at Volatile Arsonist. This card is one of my new favorites from the set, for sure. It sits on the same spot as Goldspan Dragon. It's a 5 mana hasty thing in red. But, and this, first of all, it's not legendary. Neither is Goldspan. That wasn't in the comparison in it between Volatile Arsonist and Goldspan Dragon. But just to make a point that none of these guys are legendary. There's no single legendary in my deck, so you can have multiples of any of these on the battlefield, which of course is great. But back to the comparison between Volatile Arsonist and Goldspan Dragon. Goldspan Dragon, of course, has flying, but this has haste, so it's 2 different forms of evasion. It's kind of like they've been doing a series of these. Froghemoth also costs 5 mana, also has a 4/4 with haste, but it has trample because it's green. You know, it makes sense. But on the night side, this thing comes in as a 5/5. Okay. Also has haste, and the text is quite long. So whenever it attacks, it deals 1 damage to each of up to 1 target creature, up to 1 target player, and or up to 1 target planeswalker. On the night side, that just becomes 2 damage. Watch this. If he doesn't have any creatures, and you want to maximize your damage output, and you're doing a swing with Volatile Arsonist and Howlpack Avenger, you send the damage that you would have, instead of being sending to the opponent's creature, to the Volatile Arsonist, to the Ill-Tempered Loner instead. It's not enough to kill it, because it's only ever as maximum 2, but then you can send that 2, because there's no targets. You would have just wasted that 2 damage and said submit 0, because the opponent has no creatures. You send that 2 damage to your Ill-Tempered Loner, then he can bounce that at the opponent. I've done it once and won me the game, so sweet little interaction. Make sure to remember that one. And that's the deck. Doesn't need much more blabbing than that. I think I've done enough already. The mana base we've already talked about. That's it. I mean, it's a red deck. We're just trying to put down creatures every single turn, and every single turn attack. And when they play creatures that get in the way of our creatures, we remove those creatures and we keep on attacking. And then we've got all that little bit of extra reach that I talked about in the Howlpack Avenger, in the Moonrager / in the Runebound Wolf, in the boast ability of Fearless Pup. And that should, and of course, all the extra text in the Volatile Arsonist, also extra reach. And then the Faceless Haven, extra reach. Just go face. Boom. Let's jump into some games. Ooh, I've been testing some Selesnya stuff as well. By the way, as usual, this points in the video is when I like to do a little bit of self-promotion. If you have not done so already, kindly consider subscribing to the channel. We are rapidly approaching 400 subs. It's possibly days away. It's going to be so much fun when we do get there. For those of you who don't know, it's going to be a live stream. I'm going to wear a wig. It's going to be fun. I'm going to play viewer decks. So if you want to know the full details, there's a link in the description. And help me get to 400 subs. Hit the subscribe button. Of course, don't forget to do all the other great YouTube stuff. It helps with the algorithm, and it's totally easy and free. You just hit the like button, leave a comment, and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified of future daily uploads. Alrighty. I don't know why I kept that hand. It was a little bit dodgy. I should have had more land, maybe another threat to play, but we can foretell things. See, this is what I mean, like, if it was boast 2, then instead of foretelling, I would have attacked for 3, which would have made this pup just endlessly better. Simic. Still no lands. We really needed those land drops. That's a disaster. Snakeskin Veil. Whew. Can you believe it? Snaky. So now this is a pain in my butt. He's probably got a few of those if his plan is to just like keep chipping away at me. A land. Another veil? Come on. Okay. That's fine. That's totally fine. I'm still winning the race here. Opponent. Shrine. She's got a double-pronged plan to save his suspicious stowaway from removal. The bounce plan and the hexproof plan. How long can he keep it going? That is the question. Because here comes the whole pack Avenger. Now all our permanents have, whenever they deal damage, they deal that much damage to any target. Would have done that on your turn, dude. With the boast, we go to 2, 4, 8. It's not quite the reach we needed. Hopefully he has no like bounce stuff. Could be like all kinds of things in his hand right now. Boop. Maybe it's a fight spell? No? New card from Crimson Vow. Storm Chaser Drake. Should be art. Okay. I'll get rid of you. I could have gone face with that. You see now, that's the first time we've seen. Oh, he's gonna do it. Now we're definitely going face. Just play out another. Whenever it becomes a target of a spell you control. That's the same as Orvar's text. This has first strike. Hopefully he didn't read it. Well, anyway, it would kill you regardless. But he might have been hoping to trade. A little bit of a magecrafty feeling about it, but he's just not quite got the magecraft cards. Sure, I'm going face. If we top deck a Moonrager's Slash, it's GG. He can't attack, because we can boast. You know that, right? Mr. Drake? That's what I thought. So, I think it's still GG. Unless he's got a counterspell. Nekoto. It's 3 to boast. We've got the 3. We might have some action here. Okay. Sure. Bounce spell, not gonna save you. You've only got blue lands, and that's game. Unless he's got the bounce spell still, he could be cheating me. The bugger. It's there, he's got it. Oh, nice, nice. The game goes on. If we top deck a land, we can just go freaking Arsonist. Well, that's good enough. No bounce, no more bounce. Oh god, he's got so much of it. What was the game plan here? Also got Faceless Haven. Potentially. Oof, okay. Here we go, boys. Is there a counter? Oh, and it's nighttime. Ooh. The art on the backside is... Come on, mate. You really are dangling on for dear life, aren't you? So many of these. Finally. All right. Unranked, you know, it's not a true kind of showcase of the deck's power, but that's not what we're here for tonight. I'm continuing on this trend, and I apologize, by the way. I was supposed to do this video this afternoon. That's why I should keep scheduling out of my videos. I have a 2-year-old, if you don't know that already, and it's very difficult sometimes to guarantee that I'll have him sleeping for a whole hour at some point in the afternoon so that I can stream. So yeah, I was gonna do this more janky deck earlier this afternoon, and there was a more serious build planned for tonight, but the whole thing got pushed. C'est la vie. This bat is just so much better than that bat. Ooh. Scarf. Double bat. Okay, we've got lands enough to cast the Arsonist. That's enough lands for now, thank you. Nice sleeves, dude. I've got the same ones, actually. Hello. No problem. The emotes are just a little bit limited, aren't they? Village rights. The learning. The fetching of lessons. Is it gonna be the new... Ooh. There's been some recent, like, crazy developments in Standard. It's shifted. Oh, that's a nice target for my Frostbite. This, like, new control deck with... It's not new, but there's... The focus has really shifted completely towards... what's her name? The Sedgemoor Witch. Sedgemoor Witch control, mono black. Looks really good, actually. Oh god, here comes the endless pests. How are we gonna get through all of these chump blockers? We need trample. There's a curse that gives you trample? Like all your attacking creatures all trample? Mate, that's definitely a poison in the cup, isn't it? I mean, could be a discard thing, but whatever. Got to get it out of his hand eventually. It looks like poison in the cup. Yep. Here it comes. Oh. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay. Saving that poison in the cup. Keep my torture going longer. Giza. Scan on Giza. Bye-bye. Little boast action. Baboosh. Snore. I should have given one of the pups. Didn't want him like triple blocking. Oh no. Not the scavenger. The bane of mono red. Life gain decks. Any kind of life gain. Ooh. To target opponent. I knew it was a poison cup. Of course. What's the point even? Well, we just gotta hang tight. With plenty more removal in the deck. That will definitely hit this 3 toughness. Oh, Nighthawk. Speak of the devil. Now the village rights. Deadly dispute. Nice. This guy, man. Wow. Yeah, well, I mean, it's a geezer deck. He's gonna have lots of removal. Whoopee! We gotta start top decking our hasty threats. Not lands. Oh, crikey, man. Got more lands out than the mono black player. This is the beginning of the end. Save it for the cave. I suppose wonder like why are you like picking things from my graveyard? There's no way I can reanimate anything with my this guy, man. Mono black is what got me to diamond this season. It's disgustingly good right now. It's just not the best matchup against certain decks, but the flood. Oh, the flood. The flooding is real. Trying to keep the salt to a minimum. What was the I got such a sweet comment. And like, too much salt makes content taste bad. It's like, uh-huh. Well said, sir. And point taken. Usagi. Usagi-san. A Johnny. What's the creature count in this deck? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. I mean, it's typical aggro deck stuff. Another mono black. He's got the grasp. No. He's got just a deadly dispute. Ah. Nailed it. Come on, give me that fourth land off the top. Just come on. I know you want to. We're gonna stroke the deck. Ooh, yeah. That's a good little deck. Ooh, I know you want to. It's a land. I can feel it. I can feel it. Yeah. Felt wrong. The temptation to dispute it is just too much, but he shouldn't have done that. It's too many treasures you're losing there. So it's a zombie player. 1, 2, 3. Woof. It's a lot of cards. Land. Land. Oh, land. Damn it. Moonrager's down to 1. Here comes the removal. We all knew it was there. Is the deck not doing what it's supposed to, you know? I was missed 2 land drops there. That's the second game in a row like that. That's gonna be a counter spell now. It's devastating. Showing up a little late to the party, mate. Counter spell. Okay. So it might be another poison in the cup, or he's gonna discard some stuff. Oh. Wow. Two players like this in a row. Great. Now it's the flood. Of course. Okay, here comes zombies. He's got the flash. He's got the arsonist. Or the amalgam, sorry. I've got the arsonist. Here it comes. Guaranteed. Oh, it's even worse. It's just a sword coming. Cookie cutter. Okay, I might have him. If I top deck one more land. Herbert. I knew it was in there somewhere. Well, the game just got away from us. This is the deck from last night. If you guys haven't seen that video yet, go check it out. The thing is really, really fun. This card is just shenanigans written all over it. Okay, this is it. Does he have another one? We're going for the kill. We're going for the death blow. Let's do 2 damage to you. To you. And boom. And it's got menace. That's GG. Oh, baby. Unless you've got some... Oh! That reach. That reach that we were talking about, baby. Oh, that's how it's done. That's the deck. I mean, that's what we wanted to do all along, pretty much. We drew into it. He removed all of our stuff, and we still managed to keep attacking. And if all else failed, we had Faceless Haven still ready to rumble. What a house. The menace is crucial. They never expect it, so they leave like one blocker up. They're like, oh yeah, that's fine. And then, not enough. Sorry. Got time for a couple more games. That was a nice victory. Sorry guys, I keep feeling the need to hydrate. It's the vaping. The nicotine apparently, and also the... Anyway, whatever. You get dehydrated if you vape. And you should drink water anyway. Lots of removal, not much creatures, but... This is unranked, I'm having fun. That's another creature. Just don't play a blue land. Ooh, it looks like burn. Oh yes, definitely burn. Boros burn? Yep. That sucks. Nighttime, baby. No, 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 no. Cancel. Cancel. This is actually great against the burn deck. Anything he tries to remove, I give that damage to his face now. The adversary. I'm gonna kill that. What's he got? Shock. I should have used the demon bolt. We wanted to go knight, so we just go face. And we could dump mana into this, but I want to keep up the windfall. Nah, he can't remove them again. This is great. Okay, I'm just gonna wait it out and see if there's anything. I mean, we can do both. Let's just do this. Oh, baby. This card is such a house. Oh, baby. Yeah, yeah. Epic. On a red does have its satisfactions. And I just got into this pattern of hating mono red. It was at a time in my MTG career when I was like watching CGB a lot. And Embercleave was in the format and Bone Crusher Giant, so I just hated it. But like this, it feels a bit more fair and fun, and it's still kind of the same game plan, you know. It's still the same color pie shenanigans, you know, it's red cards. We got burn spells, we got creatures that have haste. We attack. Blocking is for, you know, maths is for blockers. It's a bit of a... well, whatever. Our luck has held so far. No such luck. Okay, we're playing the token deck. There's a land. So far, he just gets removed straight away. People like just see the ooh, uncommon, new card. Ah. Okay, this guy can't block. He keeps coming back. If you sacrifice 2 blood tokens, he's only got 1. So for now, we are keeping the forebear at bay. Really cool card though. My vampire deck's coming out soon. Like I just, again, didn't want to rush one out while everybody else did. Ooh. Here comes the loner. I thought he'll block. Okay, sweet. I'll take that. I'll take that action. Now, if we just top deck a red land, I'll be a happy chappy. Maybe you could even just play nothing so it goes to night. Make me extra special happy. Oh. Badunk. I was debating pumping up and having it go tonight, but I did want to play the wolf. Just keep up the pressure. The gluttonous guest. It's like a free-to-play tokens deck. Blood token deck. There it is. Oof. It's pretty tasty. This guy can't block even if you bring him back. This guy can't kill me yet. He's got summoning sickness. Oh. Sorry, buddy. I think I gotcha. We got a double arsonist in the house. Arsonist in the hizzle. This thing is just so sick. Loving life. Alright, we've reached the 45-minute mark. These janky ones I'm going to keep to this length as promised. So that's going to be it for this deck. But it's been fun. I've really enjoyed it. Let's wrap it up with my final thoughts on it. On the brew. The Red Wolf Brew. I need to come up with a cool name for it. I'm about to up. Volatile Wolves is pretty sweet. So yeah, I mean, really solid. I enjoyed playing it. Different type of playstyle to my usual. There's enough good wolves. It feels that there's a bit of a tribal theme going on here, and it, you know, the top end with this arsonist is great. All the little bit of extra reach is phenomenal. This Halpak Avenger, we haven't even scratched, you know, the top of the iceberg. Oh, that wasn't the right. You know what I mean? We haven't even like begun to discover the endless jank possibilities of the Halpak Avenger. So stay tuned for more of that for sure. Unfortunately, the 2-drop's a little bit weak, but we might get a new one at some point. So yeah, mono red wolves. Doing things. I might take it for a few spins on the ranked ladder after this video and see how it performs there. And I'll report back in the comments. But yeah. Thanks so much for watching. Those of you who make it to the end, as you know, you are my favorite people in the whole wide world. I will see you all tomorrow with some fresh brews. As you can see, there are lots of them. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.